With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days.
With the US now officially entering the Israel-Iran conflict, Tehran has dramatically upped the ante. In an unprecedented move, the IRGC says it employed the Khyber missile in the 20th round of retaliatory strikes on Israel. The Khyber missile is the latest generation of the Khurramshahr family. It has the heaviest payload of Iran's ballistic missile fleet, with at least a 1,500-kilogram warhead and has a range of up to 2,000 kilometers. It is designed to strike strategic targets in depth without the need for complex launchers, making it a crucial element in any preemptive strike or retaliatory response. It was among the 30 missiles Iran launched at Israel in the latest salvo, targeting multiple sites in Israel, including Ben Gurion Airport, a biological research center, military logistics hubs, and command and control centers. Earlier today, the Israeli military confirmed that 2 waves of missiles were detected as air raid sirens blared across Tel Aviv, and explosions rocked Jerusalem as well. The Israeli Health Ministry has said that 86 injured people arrived at hospitals due to the latest round of Iranian missile strikes. In response, Israel launched a new wave of strikes targeting military installations in western Iran, including the missile launchers used in the earlier attack. In a statement, the Israeli military said that the Air Force carried out precision strikes, swiftly neutralizing the launch platforms responsible for the attack on Israeli territory. And well, joining me on the broadcast to discuss the ramifications of all that's happening in West Asia, I'm now being joined by Hafid Botlab. He's joining us right from Casablanca in Morocco. He's a geopolitics and international relations analyst from AOB Group. Welcome to WION, Mr. Botlab. First up, how much of a role can perhaps Turkey play in diffusing tensions in West Asia right now, especially after America's direct involvement?
Well, thank you for the invitation. And regarding Turkey, that is a very good question. Why Turkey? Because let's say Turkey is the only, with Iran, big Muslim country that is not Arab in the region. And they also have their own agenda since 2002 with the AKP in charge in Ankara. Well, today, of course, let's recall also the audience that Turkey is a country member of the NATO, and that by this they are able to play a key role in negotiations between USA and Iran. However, not between Israel and Iran, because Turkey severed all diplomatic ties with Israel in the past months, which we can see now wasn't a profitable move, because now Turkey has lost a card that this country could have played in trying to, I would say, settle down these issues. Therefore, Turkey, yes, they can play a very important role in mediating between Washington. And we know that the President Erdogan has good relations with President Trump. And President Trump has often praised him publicly in press conferences, saying that he knows the guy, he has good relations with him. So in that point, yes. And also, let's say, Turkey is one of the 20 most important economies in the world. It is around $1,300 billion
Right.
GDP, or $1,400 billion GDP. So it's among the G20 countries, and Turkey can play a role and has interest in de-escalating the ongoing situation. But how far they can go with Israel, this is a real question. And is Israel ready to got Turkey as mediator? This is also a real issue.
Right, Mr. Batulab, are you joining us live from Morocco? If the situation does not dissolve, because it looks like none of the sides are rather agreeing to budge, with Israel still saying that the operations will go on in Iran, and the Iranian foreign minister just a short while ago said that Iran will respond. What is at stake for Morocco if the situation does not dissolve?
Well, for Morocco, the question is quite sensitive. You know, Morocco has no diplomatic relation with Iran since 16 years. Morocco has accused Iran often of trying to convert and change the Islamic tradition in Morocco from Sunni to Shia. And there were plenty of evidence showing that, yes, there was a stronger Iranian activism here in Morocco to push people toward Shia Islam. And Morocco has the head of state is the king, His Majesty King Mohammed VI, who is the commander of faithful. And of course, the country has not accepted such aggression from a foreign country that was Iran. And also Iran has supported separatism in Morocco. So for Morocco, this is a very sensitive issue. Of course, Iran is a danger, according to Moroccan diplomacy, in the region, either in Middle East or Africa. However, the military solution is always is not the best solutions according to Moroccan ethos. This attack against Iran by America has wiped out Iranian nuclear capabilities. However, let's say this attack remains, according to international law, an illegal attack. But there are no authorities in the world to sanction it. So it's of course, and USA is a nuclear member of, is a permanent member of the Security Council. So for us, it remains quite sensitive. We are not supporting Iran in their aggression and previous aggressions in Syria, in Yemen. Let's recall this. Iranian regime has perpetrated crimes in Iran, in Iran first, of course, and in Syria, and in Iraq, and in Yemen. But in the same time, we cannot accept Israel to bomb everywhere in the Middle East without support from international community, without support from international institutions. And we can't, of course, furtherly, not as Moroccan official, I'm not speaking about official speaker of Morocco, but as an analyst, what I can tell you is the Moroccan public opinion is, of course, a bit frightened by such escalation in the Middle East, and we would have preferred a more peaceful way out. But let's say something very important. We have two countries there in the Middle East, Iran and Israel, and both are supporting escalation, not only Israel, also Iran, despite the fact that they have been first attacked in 10 days ago, but still Iran supports escalation and is not going for peace in the region. Definitely, this is true.
Right, Mr. Botaleb, you said that the U.S. strikes in Iran has completely dismantled the nuclear capabilities, but I just want to add there that there has been no information on the extent of damage that the U.S. strikes did on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, and rather it's important to also highlight what the Iranians are saying. They're saying that it had evacuated the 3 nuclear sites before the U.S. strikes, but talking about the situation at hand, wherein you've also mentioned that both the sides, Iran and Israel, are in no mood to step down. And the Iranian foreign minister has clearly said that Iran reserves the right to respond. At this point of time, what kind of retaliation can we expect from Iran? And do you think that this war that we're seeing today, it's in its 10th day, which started with Israel's preemptive strikes, now perhaps turned into a tit-for-tat between Iran and the US?
Of course, they are a continuation of the Israelis' preemptive attacks because Donald Trump stated it himself. And if you watch again the address of Donald Trump, yesterday's address, he's clearly saying at the end, God save American, God save also Israel. So yes, these attacks are, of course, a continuation of what Benjamin Netanyahu has triggered. And yes, I would like to apologize. Yes, you are right. We have no information of the extent of the attacks. And obviously, even Donald Trump said that there are still many targets left, which keeps the door open for a further escalation of America. So yes, indeed, these were serious strikes, but we have no information that can goes toward confirming that Israel has lost its entire nuclear facilities and program. However, these obviously were serious strikes, and the nuclear program is undermined. And what we should be said is we can't state today if yes or not Iranians were preparing for the bomb. There are no evidence going in that way or the other, and maybe they were. So or maybe they weren't. So what the next step now? What I see is, of course, Iranian strengthening their attacks over Israel because it seems to be now quite popular within their public opinion, seeing that Israel is able to strike deeply Israel, that Iran is able to strike deeply Israel. Okay. The same in Israel, where public opinion seems to be quite satisfied by the strong abilities of Israeli army to strike deep into Iranian soil. And let's say that so far it is not Iran that is winning, it's more Israel that is striking the hardest so far. What is now to be excluded is Iranian striking Americans. I think that it's too early for them to go for that solution. And maybe Iranians will certainly avoid American interest in the Middle East. They will also, I think, avoid to put Gulf countries into crossfire. This is not in their interest. They need to strengthen ties with neighboring countries and to lower their isolation because today's Iranian regime has never been as isolated as today. So the next will be continuing attacks on Israeli cities from Iran, continuing to boast about this. But in diplomatic channels, Israel will keep doors open for diplomacy, will keep door open for Americans to come back on the table. And I think what they look for now is de-escalation. I think that Iranians are hardly struck, that they are in very hard situation. It's not the case of Israel today. Despite all these images that come from Israelis' downtowns, but still, it's Iran that is the more severely struck, and I think that today they have the more interest in talking peace.
Mr. Botla, my last question to you. Say that Iran is rather interested in peace right now because of the stakes being really high for Tehran. But do you think that Iran will actually heed to any kind of diplomacy? Because both the times that Iran got on the table for diplomacy, it was struck. The first time when Iran and the US were having nuclear talks, it was Israel's preemptive strikes. And the latest when the Iranians and the European officials were holding diplomatic talks just a day ago, US launched strikes on the Iranian nuclear sites.
Well, yes, as you just said it, there is an interest in Israel to sabotage all Iranian efforts toward peace. Let's now talk from the Israeli perspective. Don't forget what's going on in Gaza. And Israel has strong interest into diverting international public opinion from the ongoing massacre in Gaza. And the same way, there is an Iranian threat toward Israel. This is a certainty. It hasn't to be proved anymore. So Israel is now fulfilling its agenda toward Iran. And for Iranians, of course, they will have to directly negotiate with Americans to pressure Israel to de-escalate. And to reach this stage with Americans, they need to show that their nuclear capabilities, nuclear program is definitely undermined. And so far, Iranians are still talking about their legit right to get civil nuclear capabilities. But to be honest and frankly, no one can state if yes or not Iranians are preparing for a bomb. Once they get civilian nuclear capabilities, they can prepare a bomb, and this no one, even high-ranked Iranian officials, can't say if yes or not the guardian of revolutions are preparing a nuclear bomb, and this would be a serious threat for the whole region. So ultimately, Iranians have to show a strong leadership, showing that they have no double standard this speech, and to go for negotiations with Americans and pledge for definitely abandoning their nuclear program. And this would be a hard step, and this might be very hard under the leadership of the current leadership, especially Ali Khamenei, the supreme leader of Iran.
Right, Mr. Boutaleb, thank you so much for joining us live here on WION World is One from Morocco and sharing your insights.
Thank you for the invitation.